I was really hoping to reach month 3 without making an Onision video. But last week, Onision took his body vest off, and he came at me raw, with emotion, with frustration, with envy, with jealousy. He was mad. He was taking pot shots at everybody, not just me. But when you dig right down deep to the core, you realize that he's still triggered over something that happened in January of 2020. Remember, he took me to court for false allegations of harassment and also took and filed against the wrong Chris Hansen, only for him to dismiss himself. Yeah, that was just at the start of the year. What a crazy way to start 2020. But out of the clear blue, Onision on Twitter starts coming at me all over again. And then he blows up my Gmail inbox, and we're gonna take a deep dive into what exactly he had to say. But before we begin, special thanks to our sponsor today of the channel. You've heard of them before, and I'm putting this sponsor in this video simply to rub the wound on Onision, since he simply loves to talk about other people's money and finances, and I seem to be landing sponsors almost every other month right now. It seems appropriate to promote, again, Raid Shadow Legends. Raid is free to play and available on both mobile and PC, and has some of the best graphics I've ever seen in a mobile game. Raid has everything from clan bosses to a battle arena, and one of my favorite game modes is their campaign mode. It's incredibly in-depth, fantastic story, and hundreds of champions to unlock. So what's new for Raid in September? Raid just released a huge champion update, tweaking and rebalancing over 20 different champions to make PvP arena battles even more competitive than they already were. And if that's not enough, the Forge just came out. So now you can save time and start crafting top quality artifacts and competing right away. But if you go to the video description and click on the special links, and if you're a brand new player, you're gonna receive 100,000 silver, 50 gems, 10 mystery shards, and 1 free champion known as Slasher. All this treasure will be waiting for you here, and all of these amazing rewards will be available only for the next 30 days and for only new players. Support the channel, click the links, and make Onision angry. So in order to get a clear understanding of what happened, we have to go to Twitter. Eleanor tweets, "I will never forgive America for not getting our stuff together before Halloween." Onision chimes in, "Because that's the problem in America right now. Not the hurricane, not the pandemic, not the riots, not the USPS crisis, not the terrifying election. All that, nah." But the best thing about this is that she clapped back. "Aren't you a predator? Hop off my tweets, loser." And he got absolutely ratioed with over 112,000 likes and 7,000 retweets. Not some flop man with third-grade mentality thinking we can only focus on one thing at once. Bye! So after Gregory got heavily ratioed with over 100,000 likes to his garbage tweet, he came at me, he came at literally everybody who's ever been critical of him in any way. Several hours later, Onision makes a tweet that I felt very inclined to respond to, and I say, "How about you don't tell a woman what she can do with her own body, or her reasons for why she chose to do what she did, you narcissistic, low IQ, judgmental, stinky pine cone." I don't know if you know this already, but Onision Gregory has an infatuation with telling people, men and women, what they should and shouldn't do with their bodies, decisions in their personal life they should or shouldn't make. Gregory just thinks he's the arbiter. He knows what's best for everybody. He says what's right, he says what's wrong, and if you don't think the way that he does, well, you're a terrible person. He's very, very extreme, if you haven't noticed. Right after that tweet, I get an email from him. My last email to him was on November 3rd, 2019, where I simply replied, "Wow." He says, "So are you ever going to back up your words by facing me in a charity live stream, or are you just going to continue proving how fraudulent you really are by hiding behind ignorant tweets?" Greg, am I hiding right now? Am I hiding on Twitter? Why are you so angry by my tweet telling you that maybe you shouldn't tell people what they can and can't do with their own bodies? Now, as you can see, Gmail offers me 3 different auto reply functions. "No, I'm not," "What are you talking about?" or "I'm done." All I have to do is just click one of those things and it auto replies for me, so I don't actually have to talk to Onision through email. What a fantastic service, Gmail. Thank you. I auto reply, "What are you talking about? Let's do a live stream for charity. You can throw whatever beliefs you have at me and I'll educate you." You would think if any of those videos were true, you'd happily bring those points to a charity live stream. Gmail then again offers me, "What are you talking about?" I agree with you. Lol. Which one do you think I chose? Lol. Coward as always. Hey, did you really scam your audience out of $25,000 on GoFundMe? You know that's a crime, right? No, I didn't. What are you talking about? What? What? He's still not getting it. Is he seriously this daft? Not to understand that I'm actually trolling him? These one-word responses? Does it not click through the mushy onion head? You ran a GoFundMe for, quote, legal expenses. You raised over $25,000. You did not use $25,000 for the legal expenses as you said you would. That's potential prison time, dude. Oh my gosh. I'm going to go to prison for paying a legal fee where people wanted to give me more money than I asked for because they hate you? The money you raised for the GoFundMe legal expenses, where did it go? I don't know. What do you mean? What are you talking about? I reply with, I don't know. How do you not know? You raised over $25,000 and you don't know what happened to it? Maybe you can use what is left to defend yourself against the very same people you defrauded with the scam that you ran. Gmail auto replies are the sweet justice the Lord has given me. What do you mean? I reply, hi Greg, I hope you know I've been using Gmail auto responses replies for these last few exchanges. I know you're salty I received a lot of financial support during that whole ordeal, however no crime was committed. I met my goal and people wanted to continue to support me past what I needed. I really appreciate having an audience willing to go above and beyond supporting me dealing with your years of false copyright abuse. I paid off my legal expenses and used the additional funds to put into savings, car repair, recent apartment move, and into an IRA. In total, between taxes and the GoFundMe cut, I actually made 17 grand. I also donated some of that to charity, which I posted on my Twitter months ago. There is no crime in somebody giving you more than what was asked. Who thinks generosity is a crime? I have built a steady, strong audience over the years dealing with your DMCA abuse, and when push comes to shove, I had support. I'm sorry that you don't have that. I spoke to GoFundMe directly. Nothing fraudulently was done or committed, and I provided them with receipts when asked. Best regards, Daniel. Now, given my reasonable response, what do you think he had to say in return? You have been accusing me of numerous things over the years. You said you donated some of your funds to charity, so of course, you have an obsession with me, 50 videos about me, and caring about charity. You won't mind your position being challenged live. Also, common sense. If you want to raise funds for your IRA, start an IRA GoFundMe. Don't start a GoFundMe for one thing and then use the majority of the funds for something totally different, as that is literally taking money while falsely advertising what the money was for. We both know that if you did start an IRA GoFundMe, it would never get to that number. You stole from your audience and you just admitted to it. But you won't go live for charity with me, will you? Because despite you making 50 videos about me, despite my name making you more money for your channel than anything else, despite claiming to care about charity, you know what you are, a fraud, and you know that I am smarter than you. I would show everyone who you are, just like Chris Hansen. You are a fraud. Greg, you are truly lacking brain cells right now. I used $2,500 for legal expenses exactly like I said I would do. If it had been fraudulent in any way, GoFundMe would have shut it down. I spoke to them directly, GoFundMe even reached out to me, and I gave them the required documentation they asked for. There isn't a limit on generosity. Attached is the message that I sent out to everyone who donated. After that message, people still continued to donate to me far after the goal was met. I was truly humbled by the support that they gave me because of what you did. Thank you. You're also dealing with IRS tax stuff, so I'm not sure why you're attempting to dictate how I deal with my finances when I've been transparent with them in regards to the GoFundMe. I haven't made a video on you since July, but you bet your jelly beans I will be making another one simply laughing at this entire exchange. Best regards, Daniel. Now in that email, I attached a message that I sent out on my GoFundMe universally to every single person. Gregory doesn't understand what fraud is. If I made a GoFundMe and there was no lawyer expense, and I made up a lie that there was a legal fee and that it was a lie and that I faked documentation or something, that I didn't really have a lawyer at all, then yes, that would be fraudulent. But what you don't understand, Greg, is that tons and tons of GoFundMes go over the required amount. That's not illegal. That is not a crime. If people want to support somebody more than what they're asking for help with, that's on each individual donating. That's not on me. My goal was met within a day of making my GoFundMe. And when the goal is met, GoFundMe lets people know, hey, the goal was met, and people continue to still give me and donate me money. What does that say, Gregory? If people are willing to go above and beyond supporting and helping me in a way that could potentially secure my future with any future legal expenses, and help me with my apartment move, because I actually had moved into a new apartment because my address got leaked after the whole legal ordeal happened. I've been so transparent and upfront where money has went. I've posted charity receipts, and then as soon as the COVID-19 crisis hit, I spent several weeks giving money. Part of it was from this GoFundMe out to my subscribers who had lost their jobs. Multiple people, I gave $50 donations, $100 donations to complete random strangers who follow me who are struggling during COVID-19. Now, I'm not saying this to toot a horn. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this is because I did exactly what I said I would do. I gave back to people who helped me. I donated to charity. I moved. I put some in savings. I put some in a separate account for an IRA. I got my car repaired. I bought my dog some new toys. But you can't accept the fact that people are generous and want to support somebody who you've been screwing around for years on this platform. You have filed over 25 false DMCA strikes on this channel, and every single one of those videos has been restored. It's because of your own behavior, your own actions, because you anger so many people, and then when it came out to the public that you took me falsely to court and then dropped what you were claiming and you filed the wrong Chris Hansen, people knew that by helping me, it would be a get back at you. And that's exactly what happened, and you are still, months later, I haven't talked about this. I haven't talked about the court stuff since it happened back in January. Why are you so obsessed with money? My finances and other people's finances. It's not healthy to be that obsessed with other people's finances. And then things took a twist on Twitter because Onision came at me saying that I spent $3,000 on a Gucci handbag for my girlfriend. Oh wow, Gucci. Was that in your public statement at all? You know, the one that you posted after you already raised the majority of your funds, Repzion? Total moral failure, total scammer, total fraud. Now, I actually think this highlights a fantastic point about how rumors start. Because a rumor typically sometimes has no evidence or proof to back it up. That's why it's called a rumor, because it's not confirmed. Is it true? Is it not? Nobody really knows. And I don't even know who said this, but it's just, this is silly to me. Because number one, I would never ever spend $3,000 for a materialistic item such as a purse or clothing. Two, I know my girlfriend really, really well. If I bought her a Gucci bag worth $3,000, she would be posting photos and Instagramming and posting that saying, oh, look at me, I have a Gucci bag. Look at how cool I am. It's expensive, it's a name brand crap. Mind you, I actually think Gucci is a horrible brand. It's overpriced, it's ugly. I just wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't spend my money that way because I'm trying to save for my own home. That's the longevity, is to have enough money to buy my own house. And if I'm spending $3,000 for a Gucci handbag, I will never have my own home. So I ask you, Greg, since you were told this by a random stranger, can you please show me some photos where my girlfriend has claimed that she has a $3,000 handbag? Because I promise you, it doesn't exist. He says, how am I lying if I'm passing on what I was literally told? Do either of you know what it means to lie? Accusing someone of lying just like you did after I posted very clearly a screenshot of only being told that, not saying it myself, that is lying. Gregory, do you have brain damage? I'm going off of what somebody else told me and I'm presenting it and implying that it's true. That's literally what you just did, and you can't even comprehend the implication that you're making here. At the end of the day, I consider this entertainment. This is funny to me. I don't take this stuff seriously because it's who it's coming from. You are a fraud, thief, and a coward. You'd rather continue living in an echo chamber and collecting revenue for only myself, not charity. I reply, you are one of the most black and white, daft folks I've ever spoken with. Yes, I updated my GoFundMe with where I'd be spending the extra money. It's called transparency, and after that, folks continued to donate to me. You're so salty, dude, that I have financial support. You know if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have made that GoFundMe. So thank you, Greg. I'm not being sarcastic. Thank you for helping me put money into my savings. Best regards, Daniel. Imagine if I started a GoFundMe saying, suing Repzion for this years of harassment, slander, and severe damages to business, and then I would only use 10.87% of the funds to raise for the actual cause. Can you imagine what the next video would be? Onision defrauds fans. Only then, for once, you'd actually have a point. You may not realize it because you couldn't be honest in the presence of a single dollar, but you're a fraud, Repzion. You've always been a fraud. And how you live with yourself, I have no idea. Greg, the projection is strong with you. I've heard what you've said on your live streams and interaction with others. Your conversation with the Oreo was terrible, and you justified your husband sending photos to minors with, quote, have you ever been to a nude beach? I listened to the whole stream. Views mean nothing to me. I make whatever video I want, regardless if it gets 15,000 views, my recent Batman trailer thoughts. You seem to be obsessed with numbers, views, and money. You're the one constantly talking about it and bringing it up. I think 50 videos in almost 10 years out of almost 1,400 videos in total is a fairly low percentage in my opinion. Call me a fraud all you want if it makes you feel better. I hope you have a good day. Best regards, Daniel. One of the things that I truly don't understand about Gregory is his inability to understand conversations. And this is one of the reasons why I have no interest in having a conversation with him, is because it's actually not possible. Having a civil or normal conversation where he doesn't project his own issues, use red herrings, scream and derail off of this different subject to different subject. I've seen how he deals with conversations and debates, and it's not worth anybody's time. It really isn't. It's a waste of anybody's time. And nobody's going to bait me into coming onto a live stream for charity when all he wants to do is excuse himself and scream and act crazy. I'm not going to have a conversation like that with anyone. I find this email funny. If you just went live with me like this conversation, you would be dragged and humiliated. So I get why you run. You are a liar, a coward, and terrified of facing someone clearly much more intelligent than you. I truly don't understand this type of process, this line of thinking. Like, I've never met somebody who is like this tone deaf and who's constantly saying how much better he is, how much smarter he is. Like, reading this makes me laugh, but it's also some of the most pathetic conversation that I've ever had a dealing with. Like, he talks like a literal child. It's not normal to talk the way that he talks to people. I reply, I don't need to participate in a live stream charity event, as you're using charity as a baiting tool. I know that you think success is driven from views and views only. It isn't for me. We have different perspectives. Whether a video of you gets 1 million views or my thoughts on the Batman trailer gets 15,000 views, I have many successful videos that are not about you, Greg. Success to me isn't based upon numbers, it's based upon what I enjoy. I stream on Twitch of an average of 15 to 40 viewers, and I'm happy with that. I know you're black and white, and for that I'm truly sorry. You use so many false dichotomies, it's hard to keep track. Black and white thinking only goes so far. If someone does not accept what you demand, they're automatically terrible, evil, dishonest people. And I believe what I'm saying is true. And I think the majority of people watching me can agree with what I'm saying is in fact true. He continues with another big response. But I want you to notice one thing during this email exchange. I haven't called him any names or anything. I haven't told him. The only thing that I mentioned is that I think that he's being really daft and he's having an extreme black and white line of thought. That's it. I haven't called him names. I haven't attacked him personally. I've only referenced things that are established as true, and things that he has said publicly. Now this one was interesting. He says, you're welcome for helping me out with your grandpa, you ungrateful, backstabbing, lying. And this actually goes back to an older video I did last year. In that video, Onision emailed me some information about somebody who was doing something horrendously terrible involving my real-life family. Onision did a really nice thing, and he contacted me and forwarded me all of the stuff that this person was trying to do, involving themselves with my family and trying to hurt my family. And to this very day, I appreciate that. But I told him that, you know, despite you doing this kind act towards me, it's not going to absolve you from things you've said or done towards others or me. I do appreciate your act of kindness for letting me know about this, and I speculated back then that the reason he was doing that, the reason he did that kind act, was so that I would just stop talking about him forever and never mention him again. I never agreed to that. I never said I would do that. And it just goes to show that his reasoning for doing what he did was very inauthentic, because now he's using that against me despite him actually helping me. I don't know, it's really strange and really disingenuous to bring that up, and that serves no relevancy. And I explain, and I stand by this. There's no winning with you, Gregory, ever at any point. You're not capable of having a rational conversation with detractors. I stood in the courtroom with you while you served the wrong Chris Hansen. There isn't anything to be fearful outside of your radical thinking that everyone is wrong, you're always right, and people must cater to your demands at a moment's whim. And this one gets me every single time. You've made 50 plus videos about me, and now that you've had your chance to show any of your words meant anything, again, for charity, you run like the little beta male, inferior intellect boy that you are. Greg, I don't take this seriously at all. Like, this is the most lowball patheticness I've ever seen from you in an email. Why are you contacting me? Why are you even trying to talk to me? It's not gonna go the route that you want. You're wasting your mental time and your energy. And by emailing me all this stuff, it just makes me have more content. Now, my last two statements are something that I think are really important that people understand. I don't make it a goal to sway the public into thinking that I'm a good person. I let people think and believe whatever they want. If someone doesn't like me or says something that is untrue, that's their prerogative. You can't please the masses or the outrage culture. I don't need to email people and tell them how much smarter I am. Like, dude, I'm being real with you. It's laughable. Just stop while you're ahead. Attached is what I'm drinking today. I'd really recommend some C-infused watermelon soda. It's about $30 and makes you super relaxed. Best regards, Daniel. And by the way, that soda is incredible and makes you super, super relaxed. You can find these watermelon sodas in Washington State. You gotta be 21 plus though. They're located in all the evergreen stores in Washington State. He replies, Jesus Christ, I'll read that if you agree to a live stream and charity, but then I'm tired of wasting my words on pathetic nobody like you who's literally best known for making up BS. Either put up and live stream for charity or shut. I have better things to do than to read your essay you just wrote, but if you agree to help me with charity, then we'll stream and get this stuff sorted out. Okay, duck face? And by the way, you're a balding fat troll. My name is James. I reply, nah, your name is Gregory, and you'll always be that to me. I can't tell if you're trying to be an angry incel or related to Big Red. Normal people don't talk like you. Have a fantastic rest of your day, Greg. Thanks for proving once again, you empty-worded, crowd fraud that you are. Good luck on your video, you red flag-looking duck man. By the way, normal people suck. By the way, normal people suck. True words to live by Onision. You know, Greg, maybe that's the issue, is that you're not normal, and you agree that you're not normal, which is probably why you don't have a lot of support much anymore, and the support that you do have has dwindled so low that you're doing everything in your power to try to stay relevant by coming at me, and then I'm gonna make a video like I'm doing now, so maybe you'll get some more attention. At the end of the day, I don't really care about that, because I'm in this for the lulz now. Like, I hadn't made a video about you in almost 3 months, and then out of the blue, here you are again. And I just sit back and laugh. This is laughter to me. This is entertainment to me. I don't take you seriously. I never will take you seriously. You are a laughingstock on social media for everyone. And I think that hurts your ego. You're not somebody people want to speak to and talk to and converse with. That you're not somebody who people are willing to throw their money towards support financially. That hurts you deep down. I understand why you feel the way that you do, but I also don't care. Thanks for watching. All my socials are linked down below. I stream on Twitch every single week. Special thanks to my patrons. You guys have been incredible. And also a special thank you to my channel members of the channel who've been subscribing with the membership fees. I really appreciate that too. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. Signing off.